I'm Louise, the founder of RobinsonGraceHR, a consultancy supporting small businesses and not-for-profit organisations with their HR and health and safety needs. In this video, we'll be going through a step-by-step guide to calculating bank holiday entitlements for part-time or variable hours workers. How we manage bank holidays for part-time workers can be really confusing. It's one of the most frequently asked questions that we get from clients. For full-time staff that work the same hours each day, they simply get all 8 UK bank holidays.
Hi, I'm Bob. I work 8:30 to 4:30, Monday to Friday, and the office isn't open on bank holidays, so I don't work those days.
So for Bob, who works full-time, there's no need to do a calculation or ask him to book bank holidays as leave. That would also be the case if Bob worked part-time hours, but doing the same daily hours, say 4 hours a day, Monday to Friday. He'd still get 8 bank holidays, but they would follow his usual working hours, so he'd be paid for 8 short days when bank holidays occur. If your organisation is open on bank holidays, then Bob would work a bank holiday when on the rota and would take a day in lieu at a different time, or he could simply book the bank holiday as leave if he isn't working from his allowance of 8 bank holiday days. We start to use our math skills when we need to pro-rata leave for part-timers. For staff that work part of a week or different hours on some days, you need to know how to fairly and equitably manage bank holidays just to make sure that nobody is disadvantaged because of their working pattern. We start by looking at what our full-time staff get and then pro-rating that allowance for part-time hours. The first rule of bank holiday accrual for part-timers who don't work Monday to Friday with a consistent daily number of hours is that they must book their bank holidays when they fall on a normal working day. 5 or 6 of our UK bank holidays fall on a Monday each year, so we need to make sure that part-timers that regularly work on Monday aren't being given proportionately more annual leave than others. There's no right or wrong, but we always advise calculating annual leave and bank holidays separately so that it's easy to see if any holiday days will be needed to use to supplement bank holidays. And secondly, we look at whether we make calculations in days or in hours. If somebody's working the same length of days every week, it's easy to do that in days.
Hi, my name is Finn. I work Tuesdays and Thursdays for 7.5 hours on both days.
That's straightforward. Finn works the same length of time each day and the same days each week. So we simply take the number of bank holidays in a year, which is 8 in the UK, and we divide this by 5 days, which is the full-time working pattern. We then multiply this by the number of days that Finn actually works. So 8 bank holidays divided by 5 full-time days and multiply it by Finn's 2 days. So Finn gets an allowance of 3.2 bank holiday days per year instead of the full-time allocation of 8 bank holidays. Now Finn works Tuesdays and Thursdays, so he only needs to book bank holidays when they fall on his normal working days. This year that's just Boxing Day, which falls on a Thursday in 2024. So Finn will only use 1 day from his allowance of 3.2 bank holidays this year. The remaining 2.2 days can be used as annual leave and booked as holiday in the usual way. A note on the part days, staff can book the exact time accrued, so 3.2 days, which 0.2 is obviously 1/5 of a day, or we can add this together with their holiday allowance and round up to the nearest half day. We can't round down as this takes the annual leave below the full-time equivalent or below the statutory minimum of 5.6 weeks of leave that's required by law. Now, if Finn was to change his working pattern,
I'd like to keep the same hours, but change to a Monday and a Thursday.
in this scenario, Finn still works 2 days a week, so still has the 3.2 bank holidays per year to book, but now he's working Mondays and Thursdays, so he's going to need to use some of his holiday allowance to book off the bank holidays that fall on his working days. So he'd need to book 5 bank holidays, which fall on a Monday, and Boxing Day, so all 6 bank holidays fall on his normal working days. With only 3.2 bank holidays in his allowance, he's going to need to use some annual leave to book those days off, reducing his bookable annual leave allowance. Some organisations offer a swap on bank holidays, so that Finn might work Tuesday and Thursday as his normal working days that week to avoid having to use annual leave to be paid. and that way the work still gets done, and it can be a win-win for organisations if your part-timer has the flexibility to swap days. It can be helpful when calculation results in a part day, such as Finn's 3.2 days, to make the calculations in hours rather than days. Finn's 3.2 days of 7.5 hours equate to 24 hours in total, and that sounds a more natural number to tell Finn that he can book. If somebody works different hours on different days of the week or compressed hours, then we'll certainly need to calculate their bank holiday leave in hours rather than days.
Hi, I'm Sue. I work school hours on a Monday, Tuesday and Thursday, and I work shorter hours on a Friday of 3 hours.
So for Sue, we do a slightly different calculation based on her hours. If a full-time employee works 37.5 hours per week, 7.5 hours a day, and gets 8 bank holidays a year, that's 60 hours of bank holidays for a full-timer. For part-time staff like Sue, we divide the 60 bank holiday hours by the 37.5 hour working week for a full-timer and multiply it by the number of hours a week that your part-timer works. In Sue's case, that's 17.5 hours a week. So 60 divided by 37.5 multiplied by Sue's 17.5 hours equals 28 bank holiday hours per year. So when Sue books Good Friday, she only uses 3 hours of her bank holiday leave, as you will recall that Sue works a short day on a Friday. When a member of staff works compressed hours, their calculation needs to be in hours. Although they get the full-time number of 60 bank holiday hours, they might be working 10-hour days rather than 7.5-hour days, so they book their normal hours worked when a bank holiday falls on a normal working day. Hopefully you found this guide to managing and calculating bank holidays useful, and if you have any questions, please email us at clientservices@RobinsonGraceHR.com for help. Don't forget to sign up for our mailing list on our website to keep up to date with our programme of free webinars and training for 2024. Thank you.